foraging day and a video in the woods. It's been a long time, I suppose. I mean, it's about a year, but it seems like it's been a long time since I have had this disposition. Now, someone made a comment yesterday in relation to how we have to be careful that we know we're not overly influenced by people and things. And I said, well, being influenced is like birds having feathers, to the human being. Of course, we're influenced from the cradle to the grave. That's a fundamental facet of being human, to be influenced by our peers and our surroundings, because that's how we learn. But of course, there is something that we need to be aware of, and that something is that simply we will be influenced. But if we are aware that we are always being influenced, then we will recognize the influences when they make manifest. And when we recognize the influences, we can ask ourselves, do we want to take these influences on board, or do we want to just let them wash over us? If we watch world news, then we're going to be influenced in some sort of shape or form. That's the nature of it. It's the propaganda machine. And so, of course, all the things that they tell us because they want to influence us. They want to make all this stuff very paramount in our minds, and they want us to store it, and they are using it, even if they're not using it at the moment in time, they're going to be using it in the not too distant future, because they are laying down a Hansel and Gretel path for us to follow. And then, when the time is right for them, they will remind us of the stuff they've been planting before, and then we'll go, oh yeah, it is true. So we have to be very, very savvy about the propaganda machine and how our minds work and how we are programmable matter and how it is our destiny to be influenced. It's very complex, of course, like all things. And so when you watch my videos, there has been an influence in relation to every single thing. But it's not like I'm running on autopilot and I'm not having a knee-jerk reaction about something that I've read or I've seen on the internet or something like that. No. I'm always espousing the messages that I think is important to espouse. And at this particular moment in time, for those of you that have watched me for years, you'll know that I have spates. I have spates on topics whereby I do to you what the propaganda machine does to us all. I bring to your awareness in the most starkest of ways often quite disturbing, destabilizing, shocking, because I know, just like they know, that that is the only thing you are susceptible to if you are 100% programmable matter. If you're intelligent beings, then you have a good breadth of things on a broader scale. and you would have already done your own education, you'd have done your reading, you'd have done your thinking, you'd have done your observing, and so you would have already have come to certain conclusions. Now, the sleeping masses, they haven't done all these things, and they haven't reached these conclusions because they are fast asleep. And so when I bring it home that, hey, unless you really start to think and act, then you will be swallowed up by the machine, which is government all over the world. Let's call it governance, because it is a governance that everybody is seeking to encapsulate you within. You will get the alternative media, or they want to encapsulate in whatever they think is very important to know. I mean, you know, you've got David Icke and Alex Jones and Russell Brand and Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro and Weinstein Brothers and Joe Rogan, and you know, you've got all these people, and albeit Joe Rogan and Weinstein Brothers aren't really media pundits, they're just like intellectuals that just like talking and engaging, and so that's what I am. I mean, some people speculate that I make these videos because I want validation, and I say, well, what part of me calling you all the Muppets under the sun do you think is going to win me validation? What part of me telling you all to fuck off and die on a very regular basis do you think is gonna win me validation? What part of me eating meat, which most people, or lots of people find abhorrent, is gonna win me validation? What part of me telling you, in not so many words, very often in lots of words, that I have got my shit together vastly more than you, and I'm more awoken than you, and more intelligent than you, thinking more than you? What part of all those things do you think is going to win me validation? So I said to these people, and I always say, I say, well, you need to think more. You need to think vastly more deeper. But this is the thing, people can't. And because I'm prolific in my videos, then some people think, oh, he just keeps putting his videos up all the time because he wants us to watch him and like him and all this sort of thing. This isn't Facebook, people. This is YouTube. And this channel, me, I am a very unique person. And I think a great deal. And I educate myself a great deal, and I've learned a great deal. And so all I'm doing in these videos, I'm thinking out loud, and I'm telling you right off the bat, these videos, as far as I'm concerned, aren't intended to help you. I don't care about you, and I don't say that in a malicious way. I just say it in a matter of fact way, because I dare say it where the vast majority, they don't dare say it. They pretend to care about you, they pretend to like you, they pretend to love you, all you beautiful people. They need to fuck off and die, because they are being very disingenuous, and I don't like the disingenuous nature of the fucking pink hate. Makes me sick to my core. They're all self-serving. I'm not self-serving in any shape or form. Whatever I'm doing here is never going to serve me, is it? Do you send me any money? You know, are you queuing up to buy my book? Are you all wanting to benefit my life or change my life in any positive way? No, you're not. How many of you have got something that you feel I really should benefit from knowing, and you impart it? Hardly fucking anyone. And so why would I have an allegiance with you? Why would I waste my fucking life trying to appease you and beg and tiptoe around you? No, I'm pretty sure that if I spent time with the vast majority of you, I wouldn't like you. I would think that you're weak and stupid and immoral and lack character and charisma. And so that's why probably it's best not for me to do it. I'm influenced by these woods. I'm influenced by being out in nature. And there's a calmness that is thick in the air. When you are an enlightened being, when you are an awoken being, then you are very susceptible to changes in vibration. And so now I could very, very easily slip into some variety of sedation, into a deep meditation, whereby I'm not thinking about anything. I am just observing, and I'm feeling the deep spirit of Gaia. And if I should pause for half a second, I just go into that. I go into that empty stare, because I'm within that vibration of stillness and awe. And it's very much like when I was tickling Providence last night in the last video I put up. For those of you that look closely, for those of you that have got pets, you'll know when the eyes start to go and there's a great level of contentment. That's what it's like when you are alone, comfortable in the bosom of nature. You don't have any fears, anxieties and incessant thoughts rattling around your head about what you should be doing, or no, it just all goes away. It just all goes away. And so I'm heavily influenced. And when I was living down in the Algarve, literally 1 minute away from that incredible beach, and always fantastic weather, well, I was in a different environment. I was in the bosom of nature every single day. And so my videos invariably reflected that. Albeit, if I got stupid dumbass comments or no response from beautiful videos, then I would be influenced by that, and I would go, are you fucking retards? Are you all fucking retards? Can you not see what I'm pointing out? Can you not see what I'm sharing? Have you no idea what this feels like, or you know what it's like to have this level of perception? Have you not got this level of perception? Do you not have feelings? Are you dead? But yes, was the answer to all of those things. When people are in the city, they are dead. They are dead to that vibration. They're dead to the spirit. Everything and every place has its spirit. And for those of you that invariably don't get out in nature, you are only ever in the office, on the train, and this, that, and the other. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So, we're all influenced people. But the vast majority are not aware that they're being influenced. They don't know even what propaganda is. And they don't know that every single thing on television that they watch, every single thing is propaganda. It could be a documentary, it could be an advert, it could be a movie. Every single thing has been created to captivate your consciousness. and infiltrate your consciousness and indelibly embed information within your consciousness. The vast majority have no idea. And so it appears to me that, well, after all this time, I have to conclude that people such as me are exceedingly rare. There's very, very few others, and I don't really know to what extent, if there's anybody really as perceptive and as awoke as I am. I've never spoken to anyone to that degree. My consciousness is in a different level, and I think you'll all accept that. It's just in a different level. And some of you get angry with me from time to time when I am utilizing certain energies. And I think to myself, wow, how incredible it is when you've got people that come onto the channel and they're like, oh wow, 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 oh wow, 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 wow. And you know, all comments and emails and everything like that. And every single time I'm just like, give it time. Give it time. Because when people are attracted to a certain theme that fits with their ideology, then it's kind of like, oh, this person thinks like me, and you know, oh, yippee, yippee, yippee. I found someone now, and it's, oh yes, oh yes, oh I agree, I agree, I agree. And then I'll change the theme, and then it will start, well, I don't agree with everything that you say. And then when the theme changes drastically, it's like, you're evil, you're the devil, you're a narcissist, and you know, you're all the cunts under the sun. And I'm like, what you need to do, you need to go back to the first videos you watched of the Awake and Brave, and then you can ask yourself where you went wrong. Ask yourself where your mind went wrong, where your mind was cherry picking stuff that suited your disposition and suited your comfort zone. And then you start blaming me because I'm no longer feeding you that stuff, because I've moved the goalposts and you no longer know who I am. You see? And if I've had 500 people over this 17 years give me that, I'll probably be underestimating it. I don't say anything to make anyone feel good. I don't say anything to make anyone feel bad. I say whatever I'm thinking, and I leave it up to you as to how you are going to interpret that. Now, for me, you are all aware that I am highly premised in my cognitive facility and have little in the way of emotion that I exhibit, at least. But you see, I will show you a balance. I will show you what I'm capable of when I speak about the beautiful facets of nature. And I spoke in such a wonderful way for many years. It's always fallen on deaf ears. Then I can touch you a little bit with caring for animals. But if there's anything that requires thinking about, I can't touch you. I can't reach you. And what does that tell me? Well, it tells me that you are 90% in your emotional state and only a few percentage in your cognitive state. Whereas I'm the opposite. Because being emotional isn't going to do you any favours. Being emotional is only ever going to cause you to be destabilised. Because when you want the world to be like you want it to be, well, you'll get that for about 1 millisecond in your life. And then the rest of the time, the world isn't going to be like you want it to be. And so you're going to be out of sorts, aren't you? You're going to be like one of these blue fucking rinse lefties that's always screaming and spitting their dummy out. That's what you're going to be like. And so to be premised in your emotion, thinking, oh, it's all love and it's all Jesus and all that, well, you're doing yourself no favours. You are actually torturing yourself, because you know it's not true. You absolutely know in the deepest of your being it is not true. Now, there's a lot to be said for placing yourself into a certain mindset, because we can do this self-hypnosis. Like gurus in caves, they will find this wonderful nirvana and this bliss when they are 1,000 miles away from any other pink ape. Sure they will, because they ain't got to contend with that bullshit. And if they have mastery over the bullshit of their minds and they empty their minds, then whoa, you've got bliss. Bliss is an unencumbered mind, people. And this is why I'm all speaking about the nature of a primate. How it must be bliss, it must be very much a representation of the Garden of Eden for the human beings not to have an ego. And so I have been there many, many times. I know what it's like. I know what I'm speaking about. When I go into meditation, and on some occasions you can get so deep that you don't even know you exist. And then you open your eyes and your consciousness comes back online and you go, wow, where did I go? Where did I go? The I never went anywhere. The I was exactly where it is now. The ego went somewhere. The ego went offline. And so he wasn't experiencing the ego. And when you're not experiencing the world through the ego, the world is an incredible place. Life is an incredible thing. And so, people, it's all about influence. And of course, I read lots of books and I make videos about them, because I think, well, this will be interesting to think aloud. I don't believe in hoarding everything, particularly information. I think we are portals for information, and I think if we are doing our job, our spiritual entities, we have to share. We have to share all what we've learned, so at least somebody else may have the benefit of learning from it, or at least gaining an awareness about something. If you tell someone what it's like to climb a mountain and then they go and do one, well, that information will be very useful to them, because they can go, oh, I remember this person speaking about this and that, so I suppose I've got that to come, and all these different sorts of things. You look out for the pitfalls and you look out for the highs. And so yeah, the imparting of information is very useful, and so that's why I do it. I think a great deal, and I just say it. I say it to the ether, and I've been doing this for many, many years now. And it isn't necessarily for any real purpose. I don't have the intention, like I say, to move you in any way, because I realise at this stage in the game that we are all so vastly different. Hello! There's so many grey squirrels around. They really are abundant. They're such a hardy creature, and they have few predators. So, yeah, it's not for me to, want anything for you. You do it your own way. And I do these videos because it serves me in a way. It serves me because I'm communicating. And if you live alone and you don't have friends and associates, then if I didn't do this, then I wouldn't be talking to anybody for my whole life. And I don't think that's healthy. And so to think aloud is beneficial. And so that's why I do it. And if my thinking aloud is any use to anybody, then that's a byproduct of what I'm doing, because I'm really not intending to do that. And you know, there are other facets that come into it. There is a little bit of a sardonic part of me. It's kind of like take a little bit of pleasure in poking the bear, you know. I like to poke the bear. And you know, if you've got a gorilla in a confinement and he's just sitting there, and you know the potential of gorillas, and it's kind of like, well, do something then, do some gorilla shit, or whatever you do, do that. I don't know, take a piss or take a shit or something. I've come here to look at you. You know, when you go to see them in the zoo and they don't do anything, they just sit there, because that's all they do. They just sit there all day long, and they may only take a couple of shits a day, and you've missed it. So you've missed the exciting part. Well, for me, looking at the pink ape and seeing that people have watched my videos, I go, well, say something then. Fucking react. What the fuck? You're even more boring than watching a fucking gorilla or ape in a fucking confined space. Can you imagine how boring you are? How tedious you are? When I impart great wisdom, great points, and there's no response. Well, I start to despise the pink ape. And then I look at the pink ape globally and I go, well, look, it is what it is. This is why the world is like it is. This is why all you bitches work for me. Every single one of you what's going out doing your slave labour, somewhere down the line it's coming back to me. And I'm like, well, that's the hierarchical system. That's why I am in this position and you're not. And if there is one of two of you that have made yourself comfortable in the fleece of the beast, then you know what I'm talking about. Squirrels and wood pigeons. You'd never starve in Britain if only for those food sources. And so, right, I'm going to be coming upon the regions where the mushrooms are, and so I'm going to be busy. So the reminder is that we're all influenced in some shape or form by everybody and everything. If I don't get a response from you, I'm influenced by that. If I do get a response from that, someone's whistling to me because there's a golf ball coming over here, thinking like I should be fucking worried about it. And the fucking thing goes way over there anyway. Goodness me. You know, they're like, oh, hey, look out, hey, look out, there's a ball coming over your direction, be careful. And they can't even hit it half as fucking far. It just fucking bounces along the fucking ground like a bouncing bomb. Potatoes everywhere, people. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm just like, oh my goodness, just, you know, grown really weary. And I look back through my whole life at the people I've met and I've engaged with, and it's kind of like, wow, is it any wonder people just want to go and live in a fucking cave? So I'm living in my cave, only I stick my head out of the fucking aperture every now and again, and I keep the pink ape at a distance. I convene with them via this portal. And so I speak with people thousands of miles away through this electronic device. And I look at a couple of your dismal comments and I'm like, no, I wouldn't expect any more. I've come not to expect any more. Anyway, it is what it is.